Greetings everyone, please give a moment to make sure everything's set on off. Looks like that's all booting up. Can go and turn the live chat windows. That's all booting on up. Howdy. Yep. Just give me a moment and I'll get started. I just need to check my other computer. And looks like everything's good to go. So let me fetch a replay. This one I've listed at the top of my list. Oh, I should quickly double check, make sure nobody emailed me for a replay number. Doesn't look like it. That's sometimes something I do forget. Is a check to see if anybody resubmitted replays. It's been quiet on the Tiny Wars site. Unfortunately, recently somehow it feels like there's less traffic than usual. It sort of does feel like that as well. I've been finding less replays, more that are like above 25 turns, to say the least. It's sort of one of those ebbs and flows. Sometimes new games and new updates draw people away, and for me, I just only cast. I have fun observing rather than playing myself, so. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. I just want to double check the preview. Yeah, looks like everything's good. Back to the text document. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advanced Wars Daisy Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Small on the south side as Blue the Beast, we got Jean Bat 13. Small on top right side as the Green Penny, we got Yoshi Rider. When it comes to COs, Penny's Horseman buff, the car should stand apart, has standard boarding cost, 3 rated, 30, 60, 60. All units are unaffected by weather. The units in the CO zone get additional plus 15, plus 10. And of course, for superpower, 3 turns of weather. She doesn't look like much, but she's pretty much S rank CO. Spawn as the Beast is of course a custom CO is in Tiny Wars. Of course, in the base game, he was unplayable, no CO. As standard boarding cost, 3 rated, 36 60. All units get plus 10, plus 10. Special units to get additional plus 20% offense, which are infantry, mechs, bikes, recons, and flares. And the special unit ends the turn on a opponent's property. You get to seal that to her income immediately. For he has both power and superpower. It's one of those choose one. Both cost 60. All units get plus 10, plus 10. All special unit gets plus 20% offense and plus 2 move and vision range. So nice little blitz. And of course you get the raiding globally. Or, if you really want to raid and pillage more like, you of course get the plus 10, plus 10, plus 20%. All special units end their action on any property. You get triple the amount of income and put in no income state for 3 turns. So neutral, your own, and your opponent's. You get to steal all of the monies. So, let's go and get started. And raiding yourself is not a bad idea, since it allows you to pay for all that forward. I don't think it denies next 3 turns, but you get it immediately, so you get to pay forward for 3 turns, which is quite significant. Hopefully this is a good replay. Sorry, I was in the middle of all the intros. Of course, it's going to be a bit just infantry openers for a bit of time, since of course Daisy Ruin's actually a little bit slower than Advanced Wars, the other Advanced Wars I should say. Double infantry. Next turn 4,000 funds, so we can go for bike infantry if so chooses. Maybe a good idea to go for bike on this side. Though right now the two bases for that side are available is not on that side. Does just go for double infantry, saves 1,000 funds, so I have 7,000 funds next turn. I'm not sure if there's anything. He may go for a recon double infantry now thinking about it. That's what he can use for 7,000 funds. Because he would have had a bike infantry, he could have, and he still could have gone for a bike this turn and go for double infantry, right? I lost my offhand maths incorrect. It is recon double infantry, got it. So he may CO it and go for a bit of a blitz. Bike, and infantry. 8,000 funds this turn. Is he going to seal it? Does seal the recon. Going for a raid. Infantry, and bike. Usually you see first tanks go towards the center side or left side, not really down this side, so the recon could utilize the normal movement and just start trying to attack infantry and start harassing them and getting some early power charge. That may be a good tactic. Tank, like I said, on this side. He could possibly strike that infantry. No, he cannot. Does spot it. It does not get a shot off. Could have got a shot off if he had moved the recon first, but nope. Was not expecting an infantry unit there. Does take a shot there, but thanks to extra little bit defense and firepower, did still take 5 damage. Barely though, 49. But did do quite a bit of damage return. Infantry units out of range, so probably have to be the recon to finish it off. 5 health would take a bit of extra time to capture property, but it would be safe enough. The recon can push forward, engage. Oh, those go straight first. I think it would have been better to push the recon forward first and make that attack, just to scout the city, just in case. Always assume all hiding spots has something in there. But does steal a bit of monies immediately, so 16,500 to bank. Could go for battlecopter, goes for a tank bike. Couldn't make that big a deployment, could have gone for tank and infantry, wasn't for that raid. Which actually, the bike is, of course, far more mobile. Gonna be very useful to say the least. Got double tanking over here. We do have a tank over here ready to come in for reserve, but a bit of distance. Flare. Tank and infantry. Oh, no, it doesn't have vision of that one. Not trying to push too far forward, expecting the tank to be somewhere here soon. This tank was relatively late, so the chance for a tank being equivalently farther forward is actually likely. Or should I say possible rather than likely. The Beast does have his comm tower, while Penny is now getting hers. Does spot the infantry unit there. Bike could get a shot off hers and then the infantry unit. Or maybe use the tank. Either way, the recon needs to get forward or to get some power charge going. Battlecopter A-tier, double infantry, pretty good deployment there. 21,000 for 21,000 incomes. Recon push forward. Does pick off there with the infantry unit there, so delays his own capture. There's a tank on top of the woods, in which the captured city here did spot the tank going to the woods. So this infantry unit could push forward, scout out the tank, and then this tank get a first strike, but 3 defense stars, and I suppose interrupting capture of a temporary seaport is perfectly fine. Though, the Beast has claimed this temporary seaport, so now he can repair all the ships there. T-copter, anti-air, tank, and mech. Of course, chance of a ship being there is not very likely, particularly now it's even including the nerfed gray field. Well, definitely has not been too aggressive. 20 energy versus 15 energy. The beast is sort of cleaning this into the part of the map, and there's a lot of properties here. We do have a good number of infantry and a tank over here. Does take out infantry unit. Tank in reserve. Maybe a little bit better to let it hide in the city, but not like many things can spot it in that position. Unit really have to push forward to spot it. It did steal some monies here. 9 capture progress off of 9 health bike. Mech, tank, battlecopter, and bike. This unit is spotted at the moment. Couple good picks there. Bike gets trapped. And the tank is top of the forest. It'd be a bad engagement for this tank either way, because right now it has plus 65% defense. It'll probably outright lose or win a fight if a tank comes up and try to attack it first. And there's a lot of power charge in Penny right now, so this could be a relatively good turn. Next turn could be a good turn for Penny. Possible superpower, honestly. Battlecopter, infantry, tank, and artillery. Pulls the unit off that, gets a nice pick there, and raids the money. Gets some shots there, takes out the infantry unit there. Tank onto the bike, but he may not know the Penny's command tank there. You probably selecting on a unit will reveal the extra defense. I'm not sure if the players actively do that. We got a very good core of tanks here by the beast. And he does have quite a bit of units over here. Battlecopter, tank, and bike. Flare. Does strike infantry unit there. Picks off the infantry unit. It would definitely be a bad idea the beast to push forward. He knows he only has a single tank this region. It's probably a good idea to assume there's another tank nearby, which is not the case, but with our cast vision, we know about a battlecopter. Anti-air somewhat in the region. His own battlecopters are now starting to be deployed in the field. But I think the beast should hold back a little bit there. Maybe put the tank on the forest. Does get trapped at finish on the bike. Puts the tank on the forest there. That's not a bad idea. Maybe a little bit too far forward. I think the tank should be behind the infantry rather than in front of it. Yeah, I think it would be better if the tank could be behind. Because right now it's a little bit too exposed. As nice as the forest is, it's still a little exposed. The beast at 40 energy. And honestly, there's a lot of properties on the map, and he has a lot of specialty units here. If he pops superpower, maybe a good idea to go with a pillage, because that would be a lot of monies. And that's a bomber and triple bike. And usually bombers are a case of, hey, I went for pillage. I want a bomber now. Picks off some outlying infantry units there. Does have a superpower available. Rain is probably the most tolerable at the moment for the beast, but snow and sandstorm always cause a lot of pain. Does summon rain, which I think is most manageable for the beast. In Fog of War games, you already have a Fog of War mindset. Now it's more foggy. Of course, his vision's still quite bad. I just pause for a brief moment. Just get an idea of what he sees. He sees some infantry units there. He sees his tank and infantry unit there, but he is not aware of anything in these outskirts of vision, and he does not appear to have a flare on the field. If you drop that capture, it's going to be important, but still. Let's take that up to 58 energy. He has a superpower. He did go, you see the essay, he did go for the pillage, not for the, vision. Triple grab there, or quadruple 5. I think that one there was before. So right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's just say 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, 60,000 funds. Holy crap. If he wants to go for another bomber, he can go for a bomber. And the next turn he can go for a bomber. Aircraft carrier and war tank. I don't know about the lander part. I guess he really wants to put forward to deploy a war tank. Oof. And double bike to boot. Aircraft carriers. It always feels like they are expensive. If on paper, to me, they always feel like not a great call. But they're always so useful. I think that I just underrate the launch ability. I don't know why. It feels like aircraft carriers shouldn't be as good as they are, even though they got severe buff from the previous game, or just outright rework. A lot of good hits there. Of course, has a little bit extra defense global. But remember, a lot of these properties are going to have no income state for a long time, so it'll be a bit of extra time before they start providing income, including zone properties. Right now, it's getting 19,000 for 25,000, but has 196 for 156. So it has about a full turn advantage in funds in the field. Infantry, tank, and anti-air. Of course, we'll still have some vision issues. Did not take a shot against that infantry. Oh wait, Fog of War, he didn't have vision of it. Things are falling back. He doesn't really have any anti-airs instead to deal with the battlecopters. Anti-air did get spawned out there. He has 13,000, maybe a good idea of a double anti-air. Bombers are advancing. Does get trapped there, finish off the 1 health infantry unit. Tank, mech, and anti-air. There is a teacup for that mech. Does get shot there, hits the bike, hits the other bike, or the same bike. Captured up, but remember has no income state, so not providing any income. Penny has 35 energy, getting close to another superpower. Picks off that infantry unit there. The 1 health infantry unit can spot that CO tank. Anti-air's right there. Remember the bad vision, so the beast will have to deal with another turn of rain. And not spotting the anti-air before the bomber pushing forward is going to be huge. Of course, it's what the beast sees, not a lot. He may want to be a bit more passive this turn. He sees battlecopter and infantry, but nothing really else. Power charge. Oh, gets trapped on that unit there. That city's still not been captured. Looks like this one will be flipped. Does find the flare, hits the flare twice. And Penny could... actually, she can now possibly get a superpower next turn. She needs another 11 energy, and there's a full health tank and 1 health infantry, but I don't think she's going to be able to pull out her superpower next turn. We do have a seaplane out at sea. In his natural habitat. He does migrate up north. Has not got any power charge, so that first shot did not receive any power charge from it. Bomber still currently hidden. Flare, battlecopter, tank, and infantry. The beast does have a lot of power charge in front of him. Takes out infantry unit there. Does not spot that anti-air, but there's no direct line of path to the bomber. Pops superpower. Yep, this is superpower. It's also mid-turn. I don't know what salvage he get. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strikes a rocket. Managed to get a good hit there. Got lucky there was nothing on top of that forest. I was wondering about the rocket there. What was that? 5 salvages? 6? 7? Looks like about 7 salvages, down 21,000 income, but has 51,000 in the bank. Duster seaplane. Rocket, tank, and rig. Yeah, she's she looks like trying to push a little bit over here and down here. And here's some winter that's going to help slow down the beast from getting back to the front line. No, not too test. Power to get overran at least. I mean, there's a couple tanks here. Knows about the bomber. Anti-air is in the region, but currently out of range of it. It's probably going to keep the anti-air in the forest there and wait for the bomber to expose itself. Try to get a bit of ambush. Lana drops forward a tank and flare. Infantry gets dropped forward as well. Tank, artillery, infantry, and battlecopter. Does take a battlecopter. Takes out that infantry, getting more hits there, getting some good amount of power charge. Tank hits tank, and now the bomber's exposed to the anti-air. Though there's some stuff in front of it, so maybe not. Hits the anti-air, knocks it out. Tank hits tank. The beast is making some great progress. Seaplane goes back into the aircraft carrier. Oh, deletes gunboat. The gunboat has been sunk to the bottom of the HQ. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and mech. Oops. I'm sure I'm wondering if any way for this anti to strike this bomber. Won't one-shot, of course. There's some good hits up there. Battlecopter to strike the war tank. Medium tank strikes war tank. Anti-air hits infantry. Getting good amount of power charge up north. Does strike the bike. It's infantry. The battlecopter manages to strike it, and the bomber gets struck by the anti-air. And that will allow Penny to stabilize his flank, hitting the bomber like that. Anti-air, infantry, and battlecopter. Over here, but the medium tank striking the war tank, and the war tank being forced on back, and can't really escape due to the slow nature because of snow. Penny's pushing back, looks like the northern flank. Oh, got another superpower activated. Maybe a little too early, does get some salvage there. Or some raiding. It wasn't too great of superpower, not to mention most of these properties up north already have no income state, so I'm pretty sure can't be receive more no income. Was that another seaplane? Infantry. bike, and battlecopter. And he will be able to strike this tank with some artillery. If you have a dust in the regions, the battlecopter could be struck next turn. Strike the board tank there. And he almost enough from those superpower. Both players have been constantly pulling out their superpower. Battlecopter tank and double infantry. Seaplane strikes battlecopter, seaplane strikes medium tank, seaplane strikes regular tank. And looks like nothing's going to stop the anti-air. So it looks like anti-air is going to shoot down one of the seaplanes. At least get some good damage onto it. There's great kills there. The beast up to 19 energy. It's the battlecopter. Anti-air is a bit far away. Tank, and anti-air. It's the mech. Does find the seaplane? Sandstorm. Does take out the seaplane one shot, thanks to max efficiency and zoo power. The rocket has been spotted. The rocket probably needs to strike this anti-air. Seaplane may be able to finish off, then hit the other tanks. But due to the sandstorm, a lot less damage received due to the minus 30% firepower, plus not mission, plus 10% global defense. Bomber is up to 5 health now. Tank, and mech. Request for a draw. Takes out the battlecopter, hits the battlecopter. Fighter. With the amount of seaplanes and other aircraft in the field, the fighter does actually make some good sense. And the command unit does not go down, could merge the two recons together. Declines. Recons at 2, the command tank recons at 2 health. Battlecopter does get back in the aircraft carrier. There's good damage on that artillery, but thanks to the sandstorm, unable to contend with it. Does strike the anti-air. Medium tank. Does have a tank there. Does strike the seaplane rather than bomber. Seaplane's down to 1 health. It's that mech a couple times. That's probably still captured. Seaplane's down 8% health. There's a little recon there. Anti-air tank, battlecopter and bike. Does make it back to the sea aircraft carrier. Does strike the meteor right. Bomber routine back down the bottom right. Does get a bit of a raid there. Takes out one of those tanks. Enough for a superpower, but that's probably going to have to be pulled out next turn. Tank, flare, bike, and battlecopter. Does strike the infantry unit there, and hits the mech. Spots the aircraft carrier. Rock is still hidden. Penny now has her superpower available. It may be a good idea for the beast go for his scouting rather than the raiding. Duster gets hit, but for 3 points of damage. Fighter finish off the Duster. You have an anti-air in range of the fighter. Battlecopter, artillery tank, and infantry. Pops the power for spotting. You have global raid, but only onto his opponent's properties. Bomber hits the flare. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Hits one of the anti-air. Strikes the battlecopter. Hits the oh, that's quite a bit of damage there. The extra firepower on the bike got quite a bit extra more pain onto the rocket. Infantry, infantry, and infantry. And it got snow once again. Does strike the seaplane. Yep. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Rocket strikes rocket. Does hit the anti-air twice. Okay, so the max out veteran C tank. Does spot the command tank now. There's nothing in range to hit it now. 2 seaplanes very damaged on the aircraft carrier deck. Recon, tank, battlecopter, and tank. Does get inside of the lander. Hits the seaplane for quite a bit of damage once again. Anti-air, anti-tank, and anti-air. A lot of antis. Rocket does strike the anti-air, does strike the artillery, takes up the anti-air, and does not get into the aircraft carrier. It's simply loaded up with seaplanes. And the aircraft and the rig is pulling out a temporary seaport. Not sure if he wants to use it as that or once needs temporary airport. tank, and recon. Tracks the medium tank, At the 19 energy at the moment. Does try to take out the battlecopter up north. Does hit the infantry unit there. And you got a infantry unit. 9,000 funds still in the bank. Tank, medium tank, and battlecopter. Does strike that tank there. The rock is still on top of the city, so gaining respawn every turn. Does hit the infantry unit down south. We do have now the infantry unit gets picked off on the 30 energy and +1 zone. There's a lot of stuff there, so one of those units will be shelled by the artillery next turn. If one unit's getting range the artillery, might as well charge 4 other units. Bike, tank, bike, and battlecopter. Gonna migrate down south. Anti-tank and tank push way forward. Anti-tank won't be able to cover the artillery yet. Does their infantry, tank, and artillery. Does take out the there. The beast has zoo power available. Does give it salvager, decides not to pull out zoo power next turn. Bomber does fall back to the seaplane. There's a good strike there and there. Anti-airs can take out one of those aircraft units. Penny's at 39 energy, so needs 21 more energy to get his true power, which is possibly possible. Does get trapped there. Tank, battlecopter, double bike. Does take out a tank there. Needs a good power charge. With a 55, 60. Could have got the super power effect down south. But now more snow, so a third snow in a row. So a bit of a hat trick of snow. Take a hat trick, make a snowman, put on top of it to make it alive, right? That's how you get Frosty Snowman. Require a hat trick. Or a tricky hat, one of the two. The beast still has a super power available, a little bit too late to pop it out now. Got a mech. 36 fuel remaining. Bomber and infantry. Does take out the tank twice. Gets the battlecopter up north. Medium tank does track the regular tank. Flare, infantry, recon, and bomber. Does strike the medium tank there for you. Rocket, very nice. But no super improvements, damaged by a small amount. Does pop super a little bit late. And I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 properties got salvaged or raided. 6, 7, 8, 9. Right now he's up to 44,000 in the bank. Goes for a full battleship. I suppose he needs another rig so the battleship can get more farther north. Missile, mech, and bike. Trace the infantry unit there and there. It's the tank. Got an infantry, war tank, and tank. A tank is range of a tank. Another rocket shot. This rocket's been being very useful. Down 2 ammo. Seaplane and bomber does exit the aircraft carrier. Bike, medium tank. Does strafe the rocket. Rocket is severely damaged. Pays at 53 energy at the moment. Battlecopter, infantry, tank, and anti-air. Get some damage there. Does spot the anti-tank, will strike the bike, then follow push off the tank. It's the anti knocking it out. Just leave a battlecopter in the region, engage the battlecopter, not to mention the anti-tank. Looks like Pendy's about to get a crush on the right flank. Top left, we've still got quite a bit of stuff for the Beast. Beast right now is up to 300,000 in the field for 154, nearly twice the amount of value. Infantry. Duster, double infantry or triple infantry. That's Duster here is trapped. Could get a free shot on the battlecopter. Does free the unit there. We do now have a sandstorm, and the Duster does strike the bomber. Yep. Though I suppose in this case they both can engage this battlecopter and infantry units nearby. We do have a bomber up here, and another anti-air. That'll strike the anti-air a little bit. Seaplane does not finish off the Duster due to the reduced firepower, not to mention increased global defense. Takes out the anti-tank. Another battlecopter. Anti-tank down south. Medium tank and missile does get forward deployed up north. Right now the Beast's at 28,000 income, while Pain's at 26,000. Granted, a couple properties were raided. Battlecopter, strike battlecopter. Tank, anti-air, anti-tank. Seaplane does fall back to aircraft carrier, finish off that recon, hits the other tank. Does finish off there, does spot the CO. Oh, actually that tank did not go down. Bomber does strike, bomber does take out the CO unit, denying Penny from any more superpowers in the meantime. She could seal herself up into this tank here, or this anti-air, anti-tank. The beast right now is at 41 energy. Does spot the flare. Mac. Tank and tank. Let's finish up battlecopter. Lord tank still at full health. Bomber does get a good strike there. Here does strike the bomber up north. The other one gets struck as well. Can't say exactly for sure. Tank, battlecopter, and infantry. I mean, they've been pretty stable, though Penny is a bit behind. She actually was at 150,000-ish, now she's at 174, so she has recovered a little bit. Strikes the anti-airs. This rocket has been very active, it's got a lot of damage done. Another rig, so it looks like he's going to try to get a canal going to right there. His tank is maxed out vector, so he has 19 fuel, 1 ammo remaining. So the beast is going to start to migrate up north. Goes for a medium tank, artillery, and rig. Bomber does go back north, but it is actually running a little bit low in fuel, 34 fuel. The beast is pretty close to superpower. It may be actually better to go for the power than superpower, so those mechs potentially sprint forward and hit the war tank. Or this AMAC. Tank, and anti-air. Does strike the war tank there. Anti-air does manage to take out battlecopter. Another battlecopter strike the war tank. War tank does not go down. The beast now has enough power charge for his superpower. That one at least get a refuel going. Mech for the rig. Seaplane next turn will be at full health. Does find a 1 health tank now. Was at 2%. And Penny has resigned now. This Grade saying thank you for watching and on to the next replay. Before I get started next replay, do need the restroom, please give me a moment. My apologies on the pack, just had to grab a nice drink. And on to the next replay. Penny round ran out of time actually. Ah. Alright, on to the next replay. Right now I'm just a little bit dehydrated, hence why I need to get a bit of fluids into me. But looks look at the board, double the army size, yeah. And finish the canal for the battleship. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Cup Heroes, not Cup Heroes, Advanced Wars, Days Ruin, Tiny Wars replay. Spawn on the north side as the yellow grot, we got Eagle. Spawn on bottom right side as a blue will, we got Roger. This map is small, so I'm not sure how well this is going to go. Look like interesting just based on a brief look at it, but we'll find out soon enough. When it comes to COs, Grot is of course a custom CO, standard boarding cost, 0 radius, 2050, so it's reduced, 50 max energy. Units in the CO zone get +1 maximum range, which might be pretty good though on this map, seeing how small it is. And of course, get for superpower, get +2 maximum range. Well, of course, is unchanged from the cartridge counterpart, has standard boarding cost, 2 radius, 3660. All units get +10%, direct ground units get +20% offense, and of course get +2 movement ranges, basically the entire map. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. Not sure how well this will go. Very small, relatively low income, 2 bases, no airports. +1 maximum range for direct units. This tank should be pretty effective. So to be fair, even indirects will cover quite a bit of part of the map, so even loading up into an indirect wouldn't be half bad due to just sheer coverage. $4,000 funds this turn could go for bike infantry. Strike support, defenses, meteorite, your monster. 5,000 for grass, so could be double bike. Yep. Very tiny wars indeed. We do also have some radar stations in the corners, not comm towers. We also got comm towers in the other corners. Does CO a bike? You know, I don't think that's a good idea. Though this map's small enough where weird things like that could be a decent idea? I have no idea. Flare are very well armored and have a decent gun, machine gun, and plus the track so they move around a little bit better. Does pick off 1 infantry unit. Tank bike, so first tank is now on the field. Will has 10,000 funds, so he can go for his own tank. Goes for a tank. Can ease interrupt the capture of that CO unit. Probably should not push forward infantry unit like that. Grass with 15 energy, 1 more attack, and then she will be able to get +1 CO zone and push forward. And I always say grass actually only becomes useful when she gets a +1 CO zone. If Grot were to... Nope, can't range that infantry unit there. Can range this one. Can range the one on top of HQ, so it looks like she won't be able to really range something. So if she were to push forward, hit the infantry unit there, can't get boost strike on the tank. Yeah, don't really think she'd be able to really get her CO +1 CO zone this turn without losing her unit. I was going to say if you're able to get a good shot on this 5 health infantry, get the increased radius, then like from right here, then the tank from next to her could have got a boost strike on the tank, but that's not going to be the case. Going for the comm tower? Okay. That is a horrible idea, unless you're just trying to sack the bike or force slow down opponent. Anti-tank infantry? Is she going to try to CO an anti-tank? Tank gets tanked, so it looks like our CO bike will not get taken out. Be easier for enough for her to get +1 range. Trying to see if there's any way for her to get a boost strike onto that medium tank or a range strike. I don't really see one though. Either way, the anti-tank can just move in the HQ of the time frame. Medium tank infantry. Could seal the medium tank. Takes out that tank there. Hits the one on top of the comm tower. Now the CO tank can, or the spike can come back here. And the tank can get a +1 range. Yeah, the tank can get +1 range on from right here to that tank. And the CO bike can simply just go right here and take a shot there. Get the into position. I think she did that poorly. Another medium tank. I think she's just trying to get rid of her CO bike there. There we go. Now she can CO the medium tank. Not sure. But now she can seal this medium tank there, get a free shot onto Will's command tank. Wait. That... I'm pretty sure these players are a little bit newer, but could have sealed on top of the HQ. I guess maybe the player does not know about that. That was a bad call. Could have got a free shot on the medium tank without taking damage. Regular tank. Well, with Grot's CO zone, she can range the command tank like that. Might be able to finish it off entirely. Okay, goes to the infantry unit. I don't think Grot's fully utilizing her capabilities in this game. Anti-tank bike. Large number of medium tanks. A lot more medium tanks this game than I expected. Granted, this map's quite small. This may be the best map for medium tanks, seeing how small it is. And both players have, well, 13,000 income, so affording medium tanks is not too terrible. Takes a little flare. Artillery, infantry. Will's at 33 energy. Pushing forward with mechs. It's actually a pretty good map for mechs. Not to mention, since they're a direct ground unit, Will can give them +2 movement range with superpower. So this is a good map for Will to go for both mechs and medium tanks. Though both of those mechs did receive a lot of free damage, also means they're going to be a bit more exposed for getting power charge with superpower. So perhaps not next turn, but the following turn, Will can pull out his superpower. Though we've got a healthy number of medium tanks. Has superpower available for the next turn. Gotta make sure those infantry units are somewhat close by those anti-tanks. Let's take a shot with the one on top of the city, which will cause some repairs. Right now we'll insert for 84 versus 54. COs the medium tank, strikes 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 mech. Pretty good turn there for Grat. Now Will can pop a superpower, though it is loading the medium tank. And not too many healthy medium tanks are actually left. Yeah, that superpower was horrible. His entire turn was spent falling back. That was a horrible superpower. He should not have popped it. Anti-tank and infantry. I mean, spamming out anti-tanks when your opponent's going for medium tanks is not a bad idea. Will goes double mech. Honestly, going for more mechs is not a bad idea against all the anti-tanks. Medium tank infantry. Rat should push forward and take a free shot on this command tank with her tank. Then with this one over here, I suppose keep away from the mech's not a bad idea, honestly. Sacks onto the anti-tank. Medium tank commits a base skip. Only mech this turn. I think Grouch should be a little more aggressive or plus 1 range. Anti-tank and bike. Creeping forward is not a bad idea with plus 1 range anti-tanks. And hitting those mechs with regular infantry is always a good idea as well in this case. Let to provide good capture pressure. Does get a good shot there. It was a 90,000 plus 114 with a day-to-day funds. They're still pretty even at the moment. It was at 15 energy. Got a rocket. Plus 1 range allows these anti-tanks to get a lot more range by 1. Yeah, that plus formation of anti-tanks is going to be very difficult to deal with. At this point in time, Will probably needs to go for more bikes to deal with all of these anti-tanks. Goes for 1 bike there. Rockets are not a bad idea, plus 1 range, but Grout now has a superpower, so next turn all of her stuff could have plus 2 range. Which means there are 2, nope, there's only 1 anti, that means, yeah, that means only 1 anti-tank will be in range of this rocket. Can finish off Grout's command tank there, which is actually very important, but that tank is dead. It's in range of 4 anti-tanks. And not to mention, well, it was 4 medium tanks as well. Takes on the meteorite. Rocket mech. Will's tank will go down. Only took 2. Max out veteran C tank getting shelled. Down to 3% health. I think with all the anti-tanks of you, the rockets are probably a good call. Bike. Medium tank mech. Let's go and keep the rockets together. And this medium tank just going to go in the circle, in the corner. Does CO anti-tank now? That's going to be annoying. But rockets are still going to be able to outrange her. Rocket up north for Rot. In range. In fact, one thing that Will could do is just put some bait units if he wants to shell the tank or the anti-tank. But right now, I think Will needs to get more bikes up counter, not only the bikes, the infantry, and the anti-tanks. Anti-tank and bike. Or rocket and bike, blah. Grot does have 14,000 income versus 12,000 in this how low income map. That is important. But we got a bit of no man's land established. Takes out the poor defenseless meteorite. It does manage to strike an 8 tank there for a significant amount of damage, but only survives thanks to its max self efficiency. Will does load himself into a rocket. Not sure that's a great call. He doesn't really benefit himself on the plus 10 plus 10. Good shot there. Good does hit 2 of those rockets. Hits 3 rockets. Maybe burns the 2 and 8 health rockets together. Looks like Grotch is going to charge forward. Gets a good amount of damage. He thinks of pushing way forward. 149 versus 91 plus day-to-day funds. Merge to 3. Hits the anti-tank. Hits the anti-tank. Hits a bike. Hits the anti-tank. Hits the anti-tank. Hits the medium tank. Hits the anti-tank. Hits an anti-tank. Bike. Bike. Mech hits medium. Hits the bike. Anti-tank and infantry. Instead of 98 versus 103. It's a medium tank with a rocket. Anti-tank, 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 infantry, medium tank. Medium tank goes down, hits the bike. Will right now is at 14 energy. It's the anti-tank, hits the anti-tank. We've got a good number of mechs and bikes in range of the anti-tanks. There's the proper counters. Does not take out that bike there, leaving at 2%, 0. Finish off another anti-tank, hits the medium tank, regular tank, and anti-tank. 73 versus 88. I say this one time, just join the 2 rockets together. You will get the money and a refund, access as a refund. Bike. Does take out the anti-tank, hits the bike. Though keeping it at low health and separate, which means he can pull out the superpower with less needing about wasting a turn action. Bike and tank. Weaken his rockets, draining his funds. Yeah, he's in trouble. $13 versus 9-8 military units. Hits the rocket. 54 versus 73. Medium tank bike. Tank and infantry. Going for the tanks right now when there's rockets infused is not a bad idea. Does take out a rocket there, the CO rocket, so he lost his power charge. I think what really did Will in is the turn before his superpower, he just got neutered, and then the turn with his superpower had no steam left, and he made like near to 0 attacks, to simply just retreat everything back. So I think his poor use of CO power is what made him lost the game. Infantry artillery. And the anti-tanks is getting whittled down. And that's one reason why I said he should have gone for more bikes to deal with all the anti-tanks. Bike, anti-tank. $14 captured rockets, so he will lose his comm tower. Nope. Bad. There we go. Joins. At this one time, he has a base locks off the artillery, hits the medium tank, hits the bike. Regular tank. He lost a lot of profits, 10,000 for 16,000 income. And now got a bike medium tank. It looks like we're going to fight till the last. And tank. And it looks like HQ is being captured, and it looks like nothing is going to stop it. Medium tank and bike. And that is the end of the replay. This is Great saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Well, I have time for one last replay tonight. And I have two from this week I'm eyeing. Let's see, I actually don't know what the obelisks do in this, and what's it called? In Tiny Wars. Let's see, there's that one. And this one. Oh, I can save this one for next game. I am going to do the one of the obelisks since I have no idea what they do. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars Days are in Tiny Wars replay. Small on bottom left side, or just left side as the yellow Wayland, we have I Love Apples. Small on the right side as the green Hawk, we have Siler SK. And we have these, okay, they're crystals. They actually do have health. Looks like, effective radius. Looks like it is like the crystals from Dual Strike campaign. And they do have health, so it can be destroyed. And I don't see an HQ in the map, so if those get destroyed, do you just already lose the game? I think this also acts as HQ, unless there's is there something behind it? Is the HQ behind the crystal? I am not sure, I just don't see an HQ on the map, so I guess we'll find out soon enough what it looks like. When it comes to CEOs, Wayland's buff from the Carja counterpart has reduced boarding cost 30% to radius 36-60. All units get plus 10 plus 10, air units get additional plus 20 plus 40, and of course superpower, air units get additional plus 300% defense. Of course, is technically a custom CEO in Tiny Wars. Standard boarding cost to radius 30, 70, 120 with maximum energy of 120. You get plus 20 plus 10 for all units with day to day, and for the power, you get Black Wave, and for the superpower, you get Black Storm. So, let's go get started. Okay, if you lose crystal, you die. Got it. So protect crystals. Protect the healing crystals. And there's going to be that healing animation start of each turn. Oof, that's going to be annoying, isn't it? Wait, was that animation effect like the superpower animation effect? Yes. I think I see the like a superpower animation effect there. Yeah. Because in Dual Strike, if I remember, it's like a white little like elevation animation. That's gonna get annoying real quick. Yeah, just like the campaign. Though I actually did see the refueling animation happen at the same time as well, so it does stack the refueling or healing animation at the same time. Remember as well, this is super plasma, not regular plasma. The destroying meteorite will not dissolve the plasma, but at least will create an opening. Now I got a really stupid thought on my mind. If a super plasma is a state of matter, if something can be dissolved in water, what can a plasma version of that same element be dissolved in water? Then again, gases can't really be dissolved in water too well, can it? Or at all. Or overthinking it. Do now over to the unit up here. Artillery unit down here. We're going to try to crack open the airport. No, I'm sort of surprised it's not a regular plasma in front of the airport, so you will have to go around with the aircraft. I wonder how durable is the healing crystal? Does it have more defense than meteorite, or it has the same health as a meteorite? Would say a CO bomber able to one-shot it quite easily? Say from a Tasha. Because Tasha, a CO Tasha was able to one-shot the Talon gun, if I remember correctly. Water from whatever planet that spewed the meteors down to this human world. Okay, I don't even know what to do. I guess it's talking about the dissolved plasma water. So you're saying the super plasma is the water from another world? If the flavor of water is its temperature, what would plasmic water taste like? Probably hot. Scalding hot. Meteorite does get destroyed there. Maybe the spike will start moving down there. Nope. This mech will catch the airport. No ammo, but stopping on the city won't be too big of an issue. Does strike the crystal there, does take a bit of damage, but does the crystal provide any income? No. Sorry, just had to double check that part. So it looks like this crystal is going to take a lot of free damage. Willem did not properly protect it. He's dogpiled the crystal. The artillery could take a shot against one of these infantry units, or can position it to the crystal. At this point in time, probably take a shot against the infantry. That's about to get overran. Tank and tank. Yep. Hawk's little rush. Oh, could have gone. Maybe a good idea to go from the shot onto it. We got a good amount of power charge at least. At 33 now. When the objective is to destroy the objective, it does change the game quite a bit. It's easy to march a tank forward. It's not easy pushing infantry forward. Infantry, battlecopter, and artillery. And now Willem needs to get out over here soon. Because that battlecopter goes straight to the crystal and starts shooting it. Though you can always dogpile around it. And it will get some health regen. He should have kept attacking it? Probably. He could at least got a chunk down to half health. The artillery would have been shot up a bit, but he would have got some severe damage onto it. The crystal gameplay does change the dynamic quite a bit, doesn't it? Maybe Advanced Wars by Web should grab this concept, having the crystals in HQ. That would be interesting. Then again, actually one of the new schemas has the crystal as the HQ reskin, which is funny. Got a bomber, infantry, tank. I didn't realize, I was not paying attention to Wayland's savings and gone for full bomber. He's Pokemon CO it. Honestly, at this rate, maybe I'm a little bit too slow. Artillery's now in range of the crystal. And he's going to have to sack the some stuff to engage that artillery, isn't he? The tank can at least range it, and perhaps the anti-air as well. But he only has one surface area there. Though I suppose does anti-air to push forward, hit the infantry unit here, then he can put 2 tank shots into that artillery. But next turn he may need to go for a second anti-air because he's going to sack that anti-air, hit the infantry unit there, and then he can take out the. It's a good shot there. Good power charge. Use infantry unit there. Okay, so maybe 3 off infantry shot does save the artillery. Does surround at least. All right, didn't have to sack it. Bomber on intercept course. Wow, is this ace? Now it feels like it's ace combat, intercepting bombers. Battlecopter, anti-air, and tank. Anti-air, tank, and infantry. Or Duster, not anti-air. Nose pull back a little bit there. 105 versus 107, so it's pretty even at the moment. Oh yeah. Wait, does the crystal, is it free healing or is it a consumed funding healing? It wouldn't surprise me if it was free. So I think in the Dual Strike campaign it was free, but then again that is completely and utterly irrelevant, honestly. Bomber going to intercept on the crystal. Maybe Hawk should just surround the crystal with some basic infantry. So like if you're fighting against Sandy with your HQ, put an infantry unit on top of it. That bomber would chuck quite a bit of damage into it. Okay, he does have it surrounded enough, I believe. For your dual strike? Got it. Because of course it's something the campaign will fight against you. Anti-air, battlecopter, and artillery. Up to 32 energy. Having the wingman extra defense will make it easy for the bomber to fly into the crystal. Oh great, I just thought of a really stupid joke. 9/11 joke. Bomber hit the second crystal! Second bomber hit the tower! Because crystals are more or less the tower. Second plane has hit the crystal. Yeah. Mech, battlecopter, and infantry. There is a Duster, perhaps hit that bomber. Of course, oh, Black Wave. That's one way to soften up. Has extra defense, so does take a resist quite a bit of damage. And those Dusters can be hit by the anti-air because there is a path to it. That is Wasteland, not a mountain underneath it. Duster, infantry, and tank. Wayland does have a superpower available, does not deploy it out this turn. Strikes a CO unit. Battlecopter hits tank. Anti-air hits Duster, anti-air hits Battlecopter. Anti-air T-copter and bike. Okay, I just want to double check. We got a lot of wounded tanks here. Is that 2,400? I'm just going to really focus to see if it does cost any money to repair it. You have approximately 20,000 next turn. If it's down to 15,000, then it does cost fundings. Missile tank. 9,000. Yep, he does not cost any funds. He has pop his superpower, so now he has plus 300% defense on his aircraft. He could try charging all of his aircraft towards this crystal. And right now, this defensive position, thanks to the crystal, allows him to recover a lot of damage. Hawk may not be a good CO on this map due to the health recovery around the crystal. Granted, Hawk is basically his main CO, this player. It didn't take out the battlecopter. Got only 2 points of damage onto it. Sometimes I know a lot of extra defense, but still, it's just sort of humorous to me. There's a good shot there. Did not take a shot at the CO tank to get more power charge, but neutralizing the artillery is not a bad idea. Hawk could potentially pop out power next turn. Hawk is a bit behind at the moment, down by 40,000 funds, who's down behind about 2 turns. Battlecopter, infantry, and anti-air. Yeah, maybe best for Hawk just pull back out of this area because the crystal is providing way too much defensive, not momentum. What's the defensive version of momentum? Pops Black Wave. Stalwart? Bulwark? The crystal is providing too much bulwark? Is that a proper turn? Oh, it refuels as well. Did the crystal in Dual Strike refuel and resupply ammo? Honestly, I have no idea. I don't think the AI's units ever got to the point where they get low on fuel or ammo in that game. They're either alive or dead. Really ever in between. Into your bike. War tank and bike. A lot of good health regen there. Battlecopter in the CO zone as well. He's up to 52 energy. Won't be able to get his superpower this turn, or be able to deploy it. But he's getting pretty close to another one. And he has a good sortie aircraft ready to dive the crystal. Not to mention all the tanks. I have a feeling Whalen's going to get a win very soon, it feels like. He needs to keep a defensive brigade here. And if needed, if he feels he just needs solid turns to win the game, he can simply push his units and just make a wall. But a wall around the crystal is also a good idea. Fighter, infantry, infantry. Does score a kill there. Bomber strikes the crystal down to 11 and cracked. And that is the end of the game. This is Grade saying thank you for watching and on to the next replay. As mentioned beforehand, that shall be my last replay for tonight. So everyone, thank you for watching.